Yo, what's poppin' YouTube?
It's
Welcome.
not Paul Scholes.
Welcome back to another episode of the 4 Football Show. It's your boy Apex. I'm here with Fix. What's up, man?
Fix is back in the building with my boy.
I see you, dog. Yo, man, today we got an interesting topic, bro. It's kind of a debate. We're not even sure on the question per se, but what these guys are throwing around is who is the best. No, it's not even who.
Yeah.
It is Kevin De Bruyne, the best midfielder the Premier League has ever seen. That's the question on the table, bro.
This is a very suggestive question.
It is.
Niggas didn't
leave it open.
Yeah, they didn't just put it out there like who is the best Premier League midfielder of all time.
Exactly.
They're trying to lead us in a certain direction.
Exactly.
Sounds to me like there's some people who believe within the 4 football family that Kevin De Bruyne is the best midfielder in the Premier League.
Trying to shove it down our throats. Pause.
What you gotta say about that?
First and foremost, I like to work with stamp polls, criteria. What are we exactly basing this off of? For me personally, if you're talking all-time greats, you gotta look at the rings, you gotta look at the chips, you gotta look at the championships, the Premier Leagues. So you
gotta look at the team accomplishment.
You know what I mean? Because it's one thing to be a great player, but you can be great and not win anything, bro. That doesn't make you the greatest. If you feel me.
I don't.
You don't?
I don't. I think I'm gonna have to differ with you on that one.
Oh, for real?
I think I'm gonna have to differ with you on that one because not you. Team metric to establish individual brilliance.
For sure.
Now, on the other hand, I see where you're coming from. If you're truly great, you're gonna lead your team to greatness.
Straight up.
If you're truly great, you're gonna have to lead your team to the promised land. And if you can't quite do that, it's gonna knock you down a few layers on the greatness scale.
Simply put, you're not him.
You're him. You just couldn't get these doms to be them. That's a story for another day. On the other hand, you could be not great, but be really, really good and outstanding in a great team. And then that sort of catapults you to greatness. Even though you're not really great.
I hear. Okay, that's where I'm going with, and I see where you're standing. Yeah. So I think it's clear for the people watching that they know where we're coming from. You feel? So moving on from that point is you gotta look at who's won the most, bro. So let me put some honorable mentions of some Premier League midfielders who've won some prems, né? And the top of that list, at the very top of that list, have you heard that they used to pray and dream and wish that he was Spanish? You know? The way he used to play, they didn't believe he was a redhead from England with the skills that he had on his feet. I'm talking about Paul Scholes, fam. Paul Scholes. I believe Paul Scholes has won 11 Premier League titles. 11? And we're talking about the greatest?
Manchester United won 11 Premier League titles at a time when Paul Scholes was their player. That's a more accurate description of what was going on.
But he was in that team for sure. He was in the starting lineup all those years.
I don't know if he was in the starting lineup.
Okay, not all these years. I mean, the majority of those years.
My point exactly. If the team can get it done without you, are you truly great?
Nah, the later years he was fading away into retirement, bro. So,
and the team could still get it done?
And yes, because of his impact.
With no notable replacement, might I add.
He had Michael Carrick. He had a young Carrick coming up. Fletcher, Anderson.
Who? Exactly. What are we talking about?
We're talking about
what are we talking about? If he's so great and his replacement is Anderson and he still win the league, he couldn't have been that great.
Nah, he was great, bro.
He was pretty good.
He
was pretty damn good.
He was.
It was not great.
In my opinion, he was great.
He's in the hall of very, very good.
He's in the hall of Premier League Hall of Fame, I believe.
Yeah, he's going to get in. Yeah, because he won 11 Premier League titles. That's what's going to get him in.
But like I said, that's my first criteria.
And he's got a cute range of passing.
Fantastic range of passing.
Yeah.
But like I said, accolades is the first box you gotta tick for me, né? So other honorable mentions, you can mention the likes of Stevie G, unfortunately, a great Premier League player, but a slip cost him the league. Therefore, he's not him. Not on my list. Honorable mention to Frankie Lampard. I think he was somewhat of a different prototype of a midfielder in his time, where he really got goals. I'm not sure about the assists, but he was really getting them goals from his position in the midfield.
I'm just going to interject here and say, as a Liverpool fan, I don't like the guy, but I'm not going to let you disrespect Frankie like that.
Okay.
He's not my cup of tea, especially because he was always being compared to my guy, even though my guy is clearly the better player. But you're not going to disrespect Frankie like that. Frankie was him.
No, he was.
Lamps was him.
No, he was.
Yeah. You came up against that Chelsea. But here's the thing with Frankie, man. He was really good. He was great in it. But like most of these guys have had the honor and the privilege of being in really good teams.
Okay.
I mean, if we can surround you with the Makeleles and the Essiens and the Balaks and the Decos and the Drogbas and the Hazards and
the list goes on.
Anelkas of this world. He once had a pretty brilliant season. You got the John Terrys, the Peter Checks
that allowed them to do their job.
Ashley Coles, bruh. Freaking Cesar Azpilicueta. I hate you, my man. Oh no, not him. Branislav Ivanovic. The guy was killing us every single time. But like some of these guys on this list have had the privilege of being part of really, really good teams and being surrounded by really great players where they didn't have to carry the bulk of a
supporting cast.
They had a pretty good supporting cast. And Lamps is one of those guys. Not to take away from him, because a team can be really good, but if you have a great player, he takes that really good team and he's able to elevate it.
For sure.
So I'll give him credit for that.
For sure.
I'll give him credit for that.
For sure.
But I just don't know if he'd be like my greatest Premier League midfielder of all time.
For sure. That's why I had to honorable mention him.
I get from that standpoint.
Exactly.
You're not saying he's not great. You're just saying he's not the greatest.
He's not the greatest, bro. Because looking at, like I was going down the list of accolades and players that actually have won the Premier League, and I'm giving them their due diligence by mentioning them, right? So I've mentioned Paul Scholes, I've mentioned Gerrard, I've mentioned Frank Lampard. The next on my list, I have to go through all the club legends, right? And I have to mention Yaya Toure. Because what Yaya Toure was doing at his time, I had never seen before.
Baller.
That man was my height. He was 6'4", chunky African black fellow. Light as feathers on his feet. I ain't never seen anything like that, man. Until Pogba came, but that's another discussion.
Until what? Until what?
You was Pogba.
Bruh, I was with you. I was with you, then you just left me, bruh. And that's the thing with Man United fans, bruh. Take the glasses off. Take the glasses off. Yo, shout out Yaya Toure. He might not have the longevity in terms of Premier League success and greatness that the other midfielders had.
Sure.
But I don't know if we're going peak for peak.
No.
He wouldn't be one of the greatest. If we're taking peak for peak, if we're talking about just
greatest seasons all lined up. Yeah, okay.
The greatest seasons all lined up, and we're talking baller for baller. And you're like, who don't you want to face? I might go Yaya. Because you're doing everything. You're scoring goals, you're assisting, the free kicks. He was and like you said, 6'4", big frame, but you can't get the ball out of it.
Personally, I loved watching him play.
Shout out Yaya, man.
I loved watching him play. And yeah, there's some other guys on the list. Your likes of your Ozils, your Fabregas has to get mentioned, I feel, because I feel like what he's done in his resume from Arsenal to Chelsea has to be mentioned. But as greatest, doesn't make the cut. But now, I was just going through the lens of accolades and actually players who contributed to the teams to the top. I want to touch on like pure ability and impact through assists and goals. Or not even, because we're looking all around. We're talking midfielder, right? Because we can't necessarily ignore the defensive side of the game.
Thank you.
You got to. So overall, I'ma land on my pick. I'ma land on my pick. Damn. So comparing all those players and some more to Kevin De Bruyne, that's tough, bro. That's tough. Let me think, dog. Let me think. All-time greatest Premier League midfielder.
Here's the thing with me and Kevin De Bruyne. While you marinate on that, it's a lot of talk, going around. Like, I think somebody earlier on was accusing Liverpool of being a media darling or something.
Media darling.
I think KDB might be a bit of a media darling.
For sure.
Because a lot of talk been going around about how we've never seen this before. I don't believe so. It doesn't take away from the greatness of Kevin De Bruyne. I think he's great. But when you start saying things like, we've never seen this before, that's just not true. He's a brilliant striker of the football. There have been brilliant strikers of the football in the Premier League before. He's a brilliant passer. He might be one of the greatest passers. I don't think he's the greatest passer. There have been great passers before. And for comparing him to the other great, he's got the physical tools and the physical attribute. He only, for me, uses his engine going forward. And I've never seen him when the chips are down.
Yeah. Where it's done and dirty way.
Exactly. And we got to grind out a result. Even at his greatest, I don't think when you saw him in the same pitch with N'Golo Kante, you would say Kevin De Bruyne is the best midfielder right now in his game. I don't want to lie to you. I might have touched on the point that you were making earlier on. There was games where I saw Paul Pogba
against that very same guy's team. Hold up here with the blue strip. Please put that clip inside, Tanaka. Oh my gosh.
He's got the accolades recently. He's winning the league. He's winning the Player of the Years.
For sure.
He's getting the goals. He's getting the assists. I mean, but if we're gonna go greatest, he hasn't earned it yet in my book. He's up there, but he's not the greatest.
So who is your greatest then?
Oh, that's not a question you can ask that's not a question you can ever ask a Liverpool fan. And I've been trying to, steer clear of that. I've been trying to be on my best behavior, even shouted out freaking Frank Lampard, because I don't want to get involved. The question was, is Kevin De Bruyne the greatest Premier League
that was the question.
My answer is no.
That's the question.
That's what I'm gonna leave.
That was the question we were given.
Yeah.
And to me, truthfully, now that I've heard you say that, and I come back to my very first point that I made when I was counting up them chips, where I was counting up those trophies, how many times that man lifted that trophy at the end of the season with his boys in red and said, yes, we are the best in England, and I helped. And the longevity of it, Kevin De Bruyne is not the greatest. Ladies and gentlemen, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think.
Nah, you're not going to end this on that note, because I have just one question for you.
What's up?
Was there ever a time where you could outrightly say all those 11 Premier League titles, Paul Scholes was Manchester United's best player?
No.
Can't be the greatest midfielder of all time if you can't even be the best player on your team.
But
no, sir. Can't let it happen. I can't let it happen.
But that's not the question, brother. That's what
I was just going to let you end on the note that you wanted to end on. Now we can end it. Now we can end it.
For sure. Alright, yo, make sure you guys comment down below. I want to hear what you guys think, man.